Hi Gemini, this is Ash Tarot with your May 2021 Tarot card reading. As usual, I am using the Spirit Animal Oracle card deck that I use in all of your readings. I have pulled 3 cards from that, and I believe it was last month that I introduced the Crow Tarot, and I'm still getting familiar using those, so I am doing May's reading with those cards as well. I have used the Singing Bowl, and I have used the Sage to clear our energy and to bring in maybe some positive energy for you for this month of May. You know, spring has begun, and I just hope for a lot of growth for everybody. I do feel that, 2020 was a very iffy sort of year for us all, and that we were all pretty emotional, and we also went through a lot of change. A lot of people decided to commit themselves to doing different things, because they were home a lot. And now this year, it's like life is slowly starting to get back to normal. But I do feel like this is also a year of change that needs to happen too. I feel like a lot of people, if they didn't make those changes last year, are kind of be forced a little bit more into making those changes this year. But anyway, going into your reading, Gemini, I know I wanted to get your reading done first because sometimes I have this happen all the time too, Maybe it's a Mercury retrograde sort of thing when it happens, but I will record your reading and then I'll go to try to upload it and then I can't find it anywhere. And I think this has happened a couple of times, so it's kind of interesting that it keeps happening for Gemini. So I wanted to do your reading first and hopefully get it uploaded before it disappears on us. So with the Animal Oracle cards, we do have the Wasp Spirit, we have the Whale Spirit, and we have the Squirrel Spirit that have presented themselves for you. I get the feeling that you have definitely been through a lot and maybe some heartache, right? Because that Wasp Spirit is all about going through things, changes and stuff in our life, things that kind of hurt, but we don't see the good in them, but eventually we will realize that they were a good thing to happen to us, So whoever hurt you or whatever situation hurt you or what didn't go the way that you had planned, I do feel like it did bring you some pain too. It wasn't just like, oh, I didn't get a job and whatever, I move on, to something else. This is like something that really kind of really bothered you. So, we also have the Whale Spirit, trust the great mystery. So this is about trusting the universe too, and knowing that there are great things out there, things that you can't always see, things that are much bigger than us in the world that are starting to shift and take place and form for us. So although you didn't see, if it was, let's say, a relationship that fell through or didn't go right, and you didn't see the benefit of that failure, maybe you will realize one day that there's someone even better out there for you, so that had to fail. Or maybe the person that you were dealing with, things had to kind of fail for them to grow up or for you to grow up. Also, if it's, let's say, like a job or something and you didn't get it or things fell through with it, this can also kind of be telling you that there's something bigger and better out there. Maybe you weren't meant to do that, or maybe you weren't meant to work in that place or with those people. And if you're worried about being good enough for the next person or the next job or having enough out there, because for some of you too, it could be, let's say, like a failed relationship or marriage, and maybe if you invested a whole lot into it, it's really painful and you're worried about having enough. You have the Squirrel card right here too, right? And the squirrel is telling you that you will have enough, like in abundance, everything will be okay. You'll have enough money to pay your bills. You'll have enough food to eat, everything is going to be okay for you. So that's kind of the message for you with your Oracle cards. Now when we go ahead and we take a look at what your tarot cards are presenting, I'll read off. We have 5 of Wands, we have Justice reverse, we have 8 of Cups, we have Knight of Swords, we have Temperance reverse, we have 3 of Pentacles reverse, we have what is this? We have the Moon reverse, we have the Chariot, we have 6 of Swords, and we have 9 of Wands reverse. So we have definitely, I feel like an emotional time for you, which I kind of figured anyway because of the Wasp Spirit, So you might not be seeing eye to eye with someone right now, or a situation, like things just didn't kind of match up for you. So either there's a lot of disagreements going on with you and someone else, a lot of pettiness, a lot of arguing, or just a disagreement as in like things aren't aligning for you as well. And there's a complete imbalance for you. Like I feel like you feel a little bit like an emotional wreck dealing with this situation maybe. Maybe you have a lot on your plate and you're just not seeing eye to eye with someone. So there's some sort of imbalance. It's not necessarily bad where you're like fighting and fighting and fighting and it's totally vicious. I just think that there could be an imbalance here. It could also be at work too, like maybe you're not getting along with coworkers or something. But there's some sort of imbalance. Something's stressing you out for sure. And you're just not feeling great, not feeling yourself, I think. I think whatever happened to you in the past too, there's this feeling of it not being completely fair or it not really working out in your complete favor, maybe you felt. Things just didn't work out the way that you had wanted them to, but you decided that you had to go ahead and leave something behind and you moved forward. Moving forward too, I think you're at the point where you're getting, okay, I'm moving forward and I'm not even going to be afraid anymore of moving forward, because I think that was a thing for you. Maybe you were weighing things back and forth. Should I move forward? Should I not move forward? Again, whether it was a relationship or work, and this thing, whatever, is throwing you out of balance and stressing you out. And maybe that decision to move forward from something and pull yourself away has thrown you into this imbalance as well. But we do have that Knight of Swords and stuff, so I do think you're moving forward and you're not so much worried. You know, you feel you're protecting yourself and you're not afraid to move forward on something. I do think, though, that you do need to make sure that you're really working on your foundation, whatever you're trying to build, because you're moving forward from something, leaving something behind. But are you really? Make sure that whatever you're leaving behind, you do leave behind so that you can build something new in your life, you know, start a new career, see someone new, whatever that may be. Because I just feel like you're not really paying a lot of attention to making that foundation work for you. And I think, too, that maybe there's a little bit of a lack of ambition. Maybe you're just not feeling like putting that energy into something. And maybe it's because you're drained from the last thing. But if that fell through, you have to know that it's time to put energy into something else too. I think something was presented to you, some sort of truth, something that maybe you didn't know. Maybe someone came forward and told you how they felt, excuse me. Or if it was, like I said, like a job or something, maybe you thought you were going to get a job and then you found out that you weren't getting it. Because the other party has moved forward. They have pulled away. If it's a relationship, that person had pulled away from you and you didn't know that you had already lost them pretty much. If it's not a relationship and it's a job or some other sort of situation, maybe you didn't know that your boss had plans on promoting someone else. Or maybe you just didn't know that someone felt a certain way. This could even be a friendship or something. I just feel like you didn't know all the details. Meanwhile, someone or something was working against you and pulling away. You're definitely moving on from someone or something, some sort of situation, because we do have that 8 of Cups, but we also have that 6 of Swords too for you going on. So you're moving away from something. And the 6 of Swords too is kind of saying that it is that time. This is what you want. You want to get past the troubled waters. You want to get past this rockiness. And that's your goal. Just try not to, I feel like you're still going to stay on guard. See, you're moving on from something and realizing maybe it's not healthy for you or it wasn't meant to be. Whether a relationship, whether a job, whether where you lived, whatever it may have been, or a friendship, whatever was going on in your life, it wasn't meant to be and it wasn't really healthy for you and it wasn't meant for you. So you have to kind of accept that and move on. And you're telling yourself, okay, I'm going to accept that. I'm going to move on. But I still feel like you have a lot of energy tied to this past sort of thing because you're just so worried about what's going to come in the future. Will there be a better person in the future? Will there be a better job in the future? A better situation? And you're also kind of on guard here. You're not putting a lot of time and a lot of energy and effort into building something new and into getting over something. And you're also really kind of being on guard. Like I feel like you don't have a lot of confidence in the situation. You feel a little weak with it. So that's something for you definitely to work on. Just know that everything is happening for a reason. There is bigger and better out there, but you can't get in your own way, and you have to start building and working towards that. So that is your reading, Gemini, for the month of May 2021, and I will see you for your June reading.